Okay, math pre-assessment for the trades. OYAP. This time we're going to go through roots. Okay, so a square root without a calculator would be difficult. We've never really been taught the process up to this point. There is a process we can use. Instead, what we're going to do is a bit of educated guessing and multiplication. So, I have a value of 3.24. And what I want you guys to do is, who can give me some whole number roots? So, for instance, I know a number less than that would be the root of 1. What is the root of 1? 1, okay? What's a number a little larger than that we know the root for sure? 2, do we know the root of 2 off the top of our heads? What number do we know a root of? 4. What's the square root of 4? 2. So we've just come up with two numbers, one less than our value and one greater than our value. Okay, so our answers were 1 and 2. So we know the answer of this, because it falls between, has an answer that must be between 1 and 2. Okay, so we're going to use some educated guessing to go out through this. So what we're going to do is, what falls between 1 and 2? 1.5. So let's try 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, this one I'll use that box multiplication for, just so you guys get to see it again. Okay. Yeah. So we set up our diagonals.
Okay. Yeah, you ruined it, buddy.
It's okay. So, remember it was 1.5 times 1.5. Okay, so we just quickly turn that into 15 and 15. We know there are two decimal places. Okay, I'll quickly multiply 2. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 5 is 25. And 5 times 1 is 5. We'll follow our diagonals. 5. 5 plus 2 plus 5 is 12. Carry the 1. 1 and 1 is 2. And 0. How many decimal places do we have? 2. So we count 2 over. 1, 2. 2.25. Is that close to where we are?
Yeah.
We're getting there. What do we have to do? We have to increase this value. What do you want to increase it to? 1. Well, let's go with just one decimal place to start. So 1.7. Same idea. We'll use a different type of multiplication. 1.7 by 1.7. So we've increased our value to get a little closer. Again, there's two decimal places, so let's take out those decimals. We know there are 2. Okay? Let's use our multiplication. What's 7 by 7? 49. Good. 7 by 1 plus 4 is 11. Good. Remember, we have to put a 0 when we go to the tens column. What's 1 times 7? 7. 1 times 1? 1. Okay? We're going to add our values together. This becomes 9. 1 plus 7 is 8. And 2. How many decimal places do we have? 2. 1, 2. 2.89. Are we close to where we need to be? We're getting there. What do we still need to do? Increase it again. Okay? Now we know that we're maxing out. So far we've tried, we know 1's not the answer. We've tried 1.5. We've tried 1.7. And we know 2 is too far. So in terms of 1 decimal places, there's really only 2 other options. What are they? Yeah, we have 1.8 or 1.9. We know one of these is going to be it. Okay? And one will be closer than the other, so we can try 1.8 or 1.9. Let's try our 1.8 in this case. 1.8 by 1.8. I'm going to leave the decimal in and just multiply through. So we've done 3 different styles here. 8 by 8 is what? 64. Good. Carry the 6. What's 8 by 1? 8 plus 6? 14. Good. What do we do next? What do we have to write down here? What number goes below this 4? 0. Okay. 1 by 8? 8. 1 by 1? 1. Let's add our numbers. What's 4 and 0? 8 plus 4? 12. Carry the 1. And 3 ones is 3. How many decimal places were there? 2. So we go over 1, 2. 3.24. 3.24. So we used a little bit of educated guessing to get to where we need to go. Now, this next value here, this is a large number. It's a very tough one. Okay? So I may not know any root values around that. Does anyone know any at all? Okay, let's try to figure out how we can guess how we'll get there. This last number here, okay? This last number here, and then we could have used the same thinking with our other root here. This last number here gives us a pretty good idea of what the ones column is going to be. Because when we're doing this multiplication, okay, whatever the last value is going to be a number we're probably used to. So for instance, we went and did 1.8, right? And that was our answer for our last question. What is 8 times 8? 64. That 4 shows us that last value. And we could have used that when we were guessing. Okay? If we can remember our powers of 2 of our just one-digit numbers, that can give us a pretty good educated guess here. Okay, so let's think of our values. Because we're only doing one digit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which of these, when multiplied by itself, gives us 5? So when we square these numbers, which one will give us a ones digit of 5? No, you're right. What's 5 times 5? 25, right? So our ones digit is a 5. So we know our ones column is going to be the number 5. We just don't know what's going to be in the tens column. Okay? I looked at this one number to help. Just like the 8 gave us 64, its one number, or its one digit was a 4. 5 is the only one that gives us a 5 in the ones column. So we know the first, or the ones digit must be a 5. So let's try answers for our tens column. Let's try 15. Let's see if 15 squared gets us close to there. And lo and behold, what is 15 squared? It's right over here. We've just done it. 225. Are we close enough? No. So let's go up in the ones column. What would be the next logical progression? 25. Let's try 25 squared. So let's set that box question up again. On 2 the other way. Let's do 2 this way. The reason I'm going 2 by 2 is because 25 by 25. Okay. What's 2 by 5? 2 by 2. 5 by 5. And 2 by 5. Good. Let's add across. What do we get? 5, 2, 6, and that's it. 625. What's the value? 625. So a lot of educating guessing can get us pretty close to a root. Okay? So that one little trick, look at that ones number and just go through our one digits when they're squared. Whichever one gives us a ones number like that will really help us out. So for instance, options for the first one. We didn't really talk about this value. We knew 8 gave us 64. What else gives us a value of 4? 2. So 2 was an option in the ones column. 8 was. Do any of the other ones give us a 4?
4.
What does 4 give us? 16. That doesn't work. So 2 and 8 were the only real options for a one digit of 4. 4 by 4 is 16. That gives you a ones digit of 6. That wouldn't have worked for here. Okay?